What was the process for you to become that man, to take on your ego? And I remember reading about the moment when you were on holiday and your daughter spills her drink and
Yes.
and you would have reacted with...
It was actually my son. It was my son.
Was your son?
Yeah.
Spills his drink and you would have normally reacted with anger or being mad at that moment, but your wife actually noticed that you didn't and she said to you, you've actually changed.
That was the moment. Wait, first of all.
What was it that changed you? What was the process?
You know, remember this was years in, okay? And it was small, minor changes, just one after the other, one after the other. It was a process of constantly examining. You gotta understand, like, there was a moment where I would walk outside and it would look different. Like the sun would look different and it was weird. I'll never forget coming out of therapy and this guy was like, they were like, Terry, you have to learn how to tell people no, because I was a pleaser. And so I remember being at dinner and people would be like, can I get an autograph? I'm like, yeah. And I would sign autographs for an hour with my family there. And my wife was like, Terry, we're here. We can't even enjoy it. I was like, yeah, but these are my fans. These are the people that pay our bills. And then she's like, you can't tell them no just for an hour? And I couldn't, because I was like, I got to please. And I remember being in counseling and the counselor asked me, she said, what if a director told you to do something you didn't want to do? I said, well, I have to do it. And she was like, no, you don't. I said, yes, I do. She said, no, you don't, Terry. I said, well, I'm an actor. She said, yeah, but you don't have to do everything the director tells you to do. I said, yes, I do, because I'm an actor. And she's like, no, you don't. She said, Terry, I said, you don't have to do that. I said, but I would lose my job. And she said, well, get another job. I said, but I'm an actor. And she said, Terry, you don't have to do what you don't want to do. I didn't know, especially since I was such a pleaser. It was one of them things, well, yeah. And I'll never forget, this guy came up to me and said, hey man, can I get an autograph? And I was gonna do it, I was gonna practice. And I looked at him, I said, no. He said, come on, man. I said, no. And I went crazy. And the guy was like, dude, relax, man. And I was like shaking. It was the first time I was exercising this no. And I was shaking. I got back in the car and I said, you gotta understand, I thought I was going crazy. But what I was doing was dissecting and piecing and understanding who I was and what made me tick. And it's so thorough, and it got so thorough to the point where I was like, why do I feel angry if someone says that? Or why am I insulted? Why? Is it me or is it them? And see, and once I started asking these questions, I could let it go. And I was like, oh man, that's got nothing to do with me. But whereas before it was just, you insulted me. And dude, the process of doing this kept going on and on and on and on and on and on to the point where when my son spilled that water, I knew he was innocent. Whereas before he would be guilty. Whereas before, man, watch where you going. You got to pay attention. If you don't pay attention now, then you spilled this water all over the place, and then you know how much this costs? Then I would have went off. You know how many, I can't count to you how many family gatherings I ruined, how many, theme park outings I've crushed, people in tears. I'm going back to the room because everything had to be perfect. Everything had to be the way it's supposed to be, and then you didn't do it the way I wanted. It was hot, my way or the highway. But dude, that moment he spilled that water, and I was like, oh man, it's okay. It's all right. Dude, everybody at that table was like, are you serious? And my wife looked at me. She looked at me. She said I was different. And I knew I was. After all we've been through, I'll never forget, she said, Terry, you different. I said, Terry, I'm with you. She said, I love you. I said, oh, God, I stuck with you because you were willing to do the work. And it was, that's when I knew. That's when I knew. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I have to tell it. Simply because I don't want people to feel like they're alone. I don't want men to feel like they're alone. I don't want men to feel like it's just them and they don't know any way out and the whole thing. I said, I have to be vulnerable. I have to share this part so that you know how far I came. You know, I have no interest in showing that image anymore. I have no idea. Like I said, I told you earlier, I've moved from fiction to nonfiction.
Why did that mean so much to you when she said that?
Because I knew I wanted to make it right. It's not enough to say you're sorry. It's just not enough. It's like, it's not enough to hit people with your car and go, my bad, and pull off. But you have to understand, in the world today, you said, my bad, I said, I'm sorry, bye. And you leave people broken. You just hit somebody with your car and you pull off and be like, my bad, and yell it out. It's not enough, not enough. I damaged my family, I damaged my wife. And that's when I knew when the person I hit can come back and tell me they love me and they hug me. And they know that I was truly sorry. That's the forgiveness I always wanted. That's what I wanted. And you have to make amends. You have to do what's within your power to make things right.